everyone, my name is Shauna, in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my 2024 reading goals. I'm proud to report that I pretty much achieved all of my 2023 reading goals. There's only one that I sort of didn't achieve, but I also sort of did. I'll let you judge whether I achieved it or not. One of my goals for 2023 was to finish the His Dark Materials series. I finished the main series, then I decided that I truthfully did not care about the main series enough to read the novellas and short stories. So I finished the main series, but I didn't finish all the added little stuff that aren't full novels in the series. So I sort of succeeded at the goal, sort of didn't. Anyways, I think it was a fairly good reading year for me, but one of the things that I realized in 2023 is when I give myself huge reading goals, I'm reading more as a chore and to feel accomplished after I finish the chore instead of reading for fun. So I lowered some of my goals this year and I'm going to be focusing on reading what I'm in the mood for, but I do still have some goals because I don't want to have no goals. I want to feel accomplished, I want to feel motivated by my goals, but I don't want to have my goals so high that I feel like they're a chore. So each year I increase the amount of books that I want to read a minimum of. So in 2024, that number will be 65 books as a minimum. It would be nice if I got to 100 books again, because then I could do, I think, 3 or 4 years of 100 books in a row. That would be cool, but bare minimum 65 books. Lowering my audiobook goal. So this year my goal is to read 2 audiobooks. I finished the main series that I was reading on Audible, listening to the audiobooks. So I have some other standalone ones and other parts of series that I can choose to work on. I have a ton over on Audible, I've downloaded a ton of the free ones and stuff, and I also have an Audible subscription. I have one over on Spotify, which I haven't used Spotify for audiobooks yet, but I'm thinking about trying that out. I'm also thinking about trying out Libro FM, which I have a book on there, and I have a book on, I want to say it was audiobooks.com. I win audiobooks and giveaways sometimes, and most of the time they aren't on Audible, they're on other sites. So I have those other sites and apps downloaded so I can listen to the ones that I want in giveaways. Haven't done that yet, but eventually I will. Next up, lowering the amount of iBooks that I want to read to 4 iBooks. I download a ton of free iBooks. I have literally thousands on my phone, and next year I am going to be lowering that number by 1 for multiple reasons. First of all, again, I don't want reading to feel like a chore. Second of all, most of the time when I read free iBooks, they are terrible and I detest them, and they are normally 2 to 1 stars. There are some that are 3 stars, some that are 4 stars, but those are very rare. But I download all these free ebooks and I'm like, okay, I need to actually read them. So that's why I give myself an iBooks goal. Then I want to reread the Harry Potter series again, which is a goal I have every year, to reread the 8 main books in the Harry Potter series. This is my favorite goal that I set every year because it's so much fun and because each year I read with a focus on certain minor characters that I'm marking and paying attention to in the series. Then my next goal is either to finish or DNF the Scythe series. Y'all, I was saying Scythe for so freaking long and nobody corrected me, and then I was watching some videos recently and I'm like, it's 100% Scythe. Why am I saying Scythe? Because Scythe is the weapon that Grim Reapers have. I'm saying finish or DNF it because I own the next 2 books in the series. I own, what are they called? Thunderhead and The Toll, I think are what they're called. So I need to read at least those 2 in 2024. However, there is a 4th book in the series and I want to not force myself to read that 4th book if for some reason the 2nd and 3rd book end up to be disappointing. I'm hoping that they're not going to be disappointing because I love the first Scythe book, but I want to be prepared in case they are disappointing, because sometimes sequels ruin a series completely for me, like the Selection series for example. So I'm not going to force myself to go out and buy that book, the new book in the series, but if I do like Thunderhead and The Toll, then I will go out and buy that final book of the series and give it a read. My final goal for the year is the author that I want to prioritize reading some books from. I'm choosing one of my favorite authors, and this is an author who I absolutely love his works, but I haven't read any of his works recently, so I am putting him on here as one of the goals. I want to read at least 2 books by the author Ben Alderson. I read his Dragori series back in 2019. I think 2019, it may have been 2020. Pretty sure it was 2019. And I fell in love with that series, but I haven't picked up any of his other works. I only have 2 of his books physically, but I have a bunch of his books on like my Kindle, so I'm gonna read a bunch of his books. He writes mostly queer books, and I currently own, I think, the first book in all of his other series, and I own the entire, I want to say it was vampires, could have been a different creature. No, it may have been werewolves. He has some sort of paranormal series I own all the books of, and then he was part of this like anthology that I own that book. So my goal is to read at least 2 of his books this year, but if I read more, that would be super cool. Maybe I'll get in like a Ben Alderson mood and read through all of his books this year. I have no clue. But I'm hoping that I have a good reading year, and those were all of my goals. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. I have a lot of fun videos coming up on my YouTube channel. Very soon you will be seeing my video where I talk about my favorite books that I read in 2023, so I hope all of you stick around to watch that one. And until next time, goodbye.